used to hate running. As a former basketball player, I directly correlated running to a coach screaming,
"Get to the sideline."
To the baseline!
after you royally effed up. For some odd reason last year, I had this odd craving to start running and ended up running every single day for 400 days. After I completed my 1-year run streak, I realized I wanted to actually have purpose to my runs and train for something specific, so I stopped my run streak. And let's just say, I fell off hard. After 3 months of mentally recovering and figuring out my next run goal, I thought I'd bring you all through a week in my life as I get back into running and share some tips for those of you that want to start running or want to restart running like myself. Monday, day 1 of the program, and we have a short run. I have one big goal for today's run. Going slow. Now, as someone who likes to go fast, this is actually harder than it looks. It's already been challenging enough to train for long distance running. I'm like a sprinter, but the best way for me to go slow, and I'll explain later on why it's important to go slow. There is nothing I love more than a good hype music warm-up playlist, but then I start off sprinting and then I'm bored of my run by 10 minutes in. So I've been starting all my runs with really slow, mellow music like R&B. Because I used to blast music thinking that would give me the runner's high, but it's the opposite. You gotta start slow, you gotta build, and near the end of your run is when you can blast the beats. That helps me keep my pace and also not burn out before I even have a chance of getting a runner's high. Also, all the gym girls were doing mic'd up workouts. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a mic'd up run. Is this psychotic? To start this week, we're starting with the most scientific way to get motivated. New running shoes. Nothing gets me more excited to run than a new pair of running shoes. So I bought these On Clouds, honestly, because they look sick. So far, they look great and they feel great. Tip number 1 for my beginners or people trying to get back into running. The best thing about running is it's 100% free. The unfortunate thing is you do have to buy a pair of running shoes. My beginners, you don't need to buy the fancy running shoes. Those Nike Alphas you see all the marathon runners, you don't need. You just need a pair that will hold up to your runs. Asics, Hoka, New Balance have some great affordable models. But which is for you? For beginners, I'm not going to give you a specific shoe recommendation because don't order online. Go into a running shoe store, ask them for the shoe they'd recommend for you because they can look at your running form, your experience level, how wide or narrow your foot is, and match a shoe to you. And it's free, it doesn't cost you any money. Now for my ladies and gentlemen who are trying to get back into it, treat yourself. You have like 50 Instagram reels saved of inspo for running outfits and they'll have that one shoe. Treat yourself. And if you're still running on the same shoes as from last season that are worn out, I don't want you getting shin splints. We got new shoes. Second, we need a plan. I'm gonna bring you guys through my entire weekly split. A little table of contents of what I will be doing is I'll be doing 3 runs a week, 3 resistance training, 1 cross training, and 5 mobility sessions. So I'm training for a half marathon, but there's more to it we'll talk about later on in the video. I was in such a funk after my run streak. I wouldn't say funk. At first, it was so nice. The first couple weeks, I'm like, oh, I don't have to get up and run. This is marvelous. And then I just didn't have the habit of running like 3 times a week. So I kept being like, oh, I'll run tomorrow. And then I just like wasn't running. But eventually I kind of got the craving again. And over the last month, I've just kind of sporadically gone for runs. But now I'm craving a routine because I personally thrive off routine. And we're not beating ourselves up if we fall off because that's normal. I'm trying to remember when I was a college basketball player, we had after the season like 2 months completely off. Now beginner runner tip number 2, the most important, I'm gonna say the most important every time. They're all equally important, but running form. I didn't even realize this, how important form is to running because we all run. Alexis, go drink some water. Now, every person's running form is going to be slightly different because we're all built different. Our hips are different widths, our legs are different lengths, our mobility. That being said, here's 5 basic things we should all keep in mind. 1, you want to be slightly leaned forward. 2, pay attention to where your foot lands. This is called, sorry, I'm panicking. There's a spider on my balcony. It's protected by glass, but it's massive. Does Sweden have poisonous spiders? I don't know. 2, pay attention where your foot lands. To my beginners, just realize there's a lot of debate in the running community, and this is one. Do you land on your toe, your midsole, or your heel? The general belief is heel striking is improper, and you want to do more of a midsole. 3, your foot lands under your body, not in front. You might hear the term overstriding. That is when your foot lands in front of you. Some common cues to think of. Run tall, shoulders back and open, but relaxed, tummy tucked. And last, your arms are used to propel you forward. Think opposite arm to opposite leg, propelling you forward. I'll be recording my own progress and showing it for you guys so you can kind of just learn. I just realized now there's 2 spiders. On Wednesday, we forgot to wear pink because we wore it on Tuesday, but we're warming up, baby. Get those hips limber.
Wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
And then we're gonna do sprints. Everyone's process is gonna be different. But for right now, it's a combo for me of like really slow runs and then like really fast runs, just the next little bit. Doesn't mean for the whole training. But beginner tip number 3 / all my runners, reminder, we have to go slow. I think that was the biggest thing I realized. I have this vision of running 2 minutes in, lactic acid builds in your throat, and like 10 minutes in, you're absolutely dead. And to train, you can't do that. There's definitely times you gotta sprint in that, but you have to go slow. And for my beginners, just focus on distance. Start out with just doing 1 kilometer, 2, build up to 3, but don't worry about speed. Speed and your pace is something to focus on in the future. You just gotta get your body used to getting in those miles / kilometers because we appreciate the metric and imperial system on this channel. My Canadians get it. Everyone else is metric or imperial, and us Canadians are like, what I'm listening to on the run is my Let's Rave playlist for now. I am working on 158 to 180 beats per minute running set for you guys. That's perfect for intervals. Also, shout out to the best running shorts of all time, the Fast and Free. I'm linking all my outfits down below for you guys. I find these are actually a bit better for longer runs. I like a looser short for longer runs versus typically sprints. I would do more of like spandex. I don't know why I did it this way this week. Beginner tip number 4, runners, you need to do weights too. I hear a lot of people are scared of getting into running because they don't want to lose muscles. I feel so many girls have focused so much the last few years with like growing their glutes, and then they're suddenly like, I want to get into running, but I just put in all the work. There's typically 2 reasons you might lose muscle while running. Number 1, you start replacing your weight training workouts with runs. So the tip is to slowly add running in so you're not overtraining, but you're not swapping the 2. And second, underfueling. These are just leftovers, so nothing fancy here. This is the most random meal, bear with me. So my runners, you need carbs, don't fear them. You need protein, you need healthy fats, you need electrolyte, you need the whole 9 yards, and you need to do resistance training. First, it'll make you faster. It'll lead to less likely injury, and you will not lose the booty gains unless you start running into calorie deficit. If you're training for like things like ultras and all that, that's a different situation. We're still in our 10K half marathon grinds. Also, we bought these at Italy in Stockholm. How sweet are these? It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Treat yourself. Also, it's like raspberry flavored. is so good. Friday is just my cross training day. This has no rhyme or reason. You might call it an active rest day. You might call it cross training day. It might be a full rest day. Today, I'm just gonna go on hot girl walk or see if I can convince my boyfriend to bring me golfing. But in the future, if I'm like sore and stiff, I might do yoga. If I'm feeling some muscle imbalances or posture problems, I'll do Pilates. If I just want to have some fun and kind of get out of the mundaneness of routines, I'm gonna go do a sport with friends. And if nothing of that sounds good, I'm just gonna go on a hot girl walk. And that's gonna be my Friday routine this summer. Ooh, but speaking of routine, beginner tip number 5, find a running routine or app that doesn't seem to be the best, but seems doable. I think that's a big thing the fitness industry has done is like, we look at all the best of the best.
They're so science-based and have to be this, and every minute counts, and every interval, and da-da-da.
And there's truth to that, but also when you're getting started, it's just about feeling victorious every week. Like, even for me, I'm kind of in this, like, I've trained in a way that's like a lot more optimized, get me faster, but that seems exhausting. So I've learned for myself when I'm getting back into it, I just have to follow something that's super basic. Like this week, it was just a 4 to 6 kilometer run, 10 intervals, then a longer run, because I know I can finish it completely at the end of the week and like feel accomplished. And after a while, it becomes routine, and that seems easy, and you want to spice it up. And it's better to do that when you're looking for an app or a routine, something really basic, achievable. Happy Saturday. Okay, we got our long run this morning. Normally I do my runs fasted just because I eat late at night, but for my longer runs, I always try and get something in me. So it's usually bread and peanut butter, having a PB&J. I should have toasted it, but I'm lazy. Electrolytes and AG1. And honestly, AG1, electrolytes, and some protein powder are really the only supplements I ever really take. Because like, that's why I love AG1. It's 7 products in one. Like, I just hate clutter, and I used to have a cabinet full
of just 100 supplements. I don't want to take any. It was overwhelming.
That's kind of the theme of today's video. It's just like simplifying it so you adhere to it 100% versus having 100 things you don't even use. That's what I love about AG1. It's like 7 products, and not just 7 random products of the highest quality. Like, they're all NSF certified, so even an Olympic athlete who gets drug tested could have it. It's your adaptogens, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals. It will help improve energy, immunity. It's got digestive enzymes. So instead of having all these things, you have to like waste brain power remembering. You got it all in one. And you want a green drink in the morning. It's just kind of a vibe. It just puts you in that like, I'm wellness mood. And that's why I love it. It looks good. It looks chic. It simplifies my routine, and I don't have a cluttered closet because the real estate market makes it that we'll have one pantry. So we don't have room for 10 different supplements. I got a deal for you. If you use my link down below, you will get 5 free travel packets and a 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 with your first purchase. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring this video. I'm back. Drink this, eat that, then let's go run. Long run time. Also, I'm gonna insert right here. If you have any questions on how to fuel for a run, I reached out a while back to Renee McGregor. She's a registered dietitian. She works with high-level endurance athletes, Olympians. Tip number 6 for running. It's okay to stop and walk. Running became so much more enjoyable and accessible the day I realized I could stop and walk for a bit. And it's not the end of the world. If I'm doing a 10K and I just need a break, you can stop and take a break. I never thought I'd be, you're like, oh, where are you putting your phone? I forgot my running case, so I just put it in my bra. Another thing, if you're like me, I was like, oh, I don't care about paces or time. 2 weeks into it, I'm caring about my time. But if you're someone like that who has a little anxiety, compare yourself to others, and that's discouraging, but you still want to monitor, which we got here. That's also a cool thing about running. You just find random places. Except sometimes you don't know if they're sketchy. So what I do on days where I don't feel like knowing my time, I just bring my phone and just look for like the distance, like with your step. Started my run, it said I was at 1.2 kilometers, and I just do that, and then you don't have to worry about your pace. Sometimes we love Strava, but sometimes it's toxic. 10K Okay, done. Oh yeah, for my outfit, I love a Swiftly Tech, either the short sleeve or long sleeve. I love the racer length. And then my third favorite short, I'm just a short running kind of gal. Are you leggings or not? I love, these are the track that. They're not as popular. The Hottie Hot shorts and the Fast and Free, I think, are more universally loved. But if you're like a basketball soccer player, or if you were, you'll like this vibe a bit more. 12K, but I walk some, so probably close to like 9 to 10. But here's what I'm talking. See, I just look at my total distance on my Apple Watch. It was about 2K when I left, and I never actually turned on my Apple Watch, because today I was like, just go. It's your first long run in a while, just go and get the kilometers in, don't care about time. While I stretch, I'm gonna answer 2 questions you guys left me. Is a treadmill or road harder? And this is actually debated. It's a bit physical, it's a bit mental. A lot of people would say the treadmill's harder because A, it's boring. You have to stay a constant pace. And also you gotta think your foot lands and you don't have to move to pull it back, but it's harder to push forward. So it's a bit of a different form and a bit of different muscles. Oh, speaking of hammies tight. I've been wanting to get into running for a while, but I'm so self-conscious about running in broad daylight outside, not gonna lie. So here's my tip to anyone who's just self-conscious about running, especially if you weren't a runner, I get it. Like, it's very public, just people staring. First of all, no one's staring. We all have to remind ourselves, like, remember one person you saw on a run today. Exactly, you don't remember them. And second, here's my tip, walk. So if you see a bunch of people and you're like, I'm really self-conscious right now, just walk there. When no one's around, then go run. Happy Sunday. And what do Sundays mean? Rest days. Now some runners do their long runs on Sunday, but I'm not that kind of gal. Beginner tip number 7, yes, you need rest days. Coming from a girl who did a run streak, that is not the most optimal way to get better at running. That's more of just like, if that's a challenge you want to go through, realize it could lead to burnout, it can lead to injuries. You kind of still have to have rest days on your run streak. So it might just be like, I had days where I literally ran 100 meters and all that. Rest days allow you to go 100% the next day versus just constantly feeling like you go 50 to 60%. So what is my goals? What am I training for now? I have a problem. I'm a 0 to 100 person. So I figured my next goal had to be an Ironman. And that's what I kind of had in the back of my mind lately. That's why I've needed time to realize what my next goal is and so that spoke to me. Because I just assumed, yeah, what's the most extreme things you can do on YouTube? Ironman. Watched a couple Cody Go videos. I was like, you got to do it. And then I realized that's not really what I want right now. As I've been seeing all these TikToks lately of these like 9-year-olds finishing marathons, and I kind of realized I want that in the sense that like, no, I've given myself 60 years to train for a marathon. No, but I'm realizing like running isn't like a 2-year thing that I have to achieve like every milestone in the next 2 years. Like if I do it right, I can run for the next 60 years, which is crazy. Hopefully I even live that long. That being said, I kind of want to make an adventure out of it. So I'm going for the trifecta. I conquered the 10 kilometer. I actually did 2 last year. So this year I'm going to do a half marathon. And then after that, I'm going to do a marathon. And that excites me. That feels like exciting milestones. And it's like, why skip ahead? Why not try and do every single milestone as a runner? Like do a 5K, do a 10 kilometer, do a half marathon, do a marathon. And then after I kind of have 2 directions. I don't know, because I could do a half marathon, a marathon and realize I hate it and never want to, or it could be super exciting, or maybe that just doesn't seem like enough. So as a little hint between you guys, I'm always indifferent about sharing my goals, especially on YouTube, because life changes and I change. But I'm just gonna tell you, kind of back of my mind, I might just do the trifecta, and then I might love marathons and just like try and do a bunch of really cool marathons around the world, or I keep going. So we do marathon, sprint triathlon, ultra marathon, 100 kilometer marathon, Olympic distance triathlon, Ironman. So that's kind of the back of my mind. I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna go, but right now we're just going for the trifecta. I got a lot of years of running, so we're gonna see where I wanna go after that. And I think that's kind of one of the coolest things I like about running is it can have all these milestones, but it's on your own schedule. And lastly, as I train for this half marathon, which is looking to be in October, I love what you guys want on this channel, because I do my challenges, I do my workout reviews, I kind of do my docu-style. Do you just want like once a month vlogs on where my running's at? Do you just want YouTube shorts, mini vlog updates there? I would love to hear from you guys, or should I just keep it all under wraps and release a big like docu-style video in October about it? But right now I'm thinking like one vlog a month, one challenge video, one, 24-hour, bit more fun, trendy topic, and then I'm working on something else for those who are always asking about my mobility and ATP and Pilates-esque workouts. I got something coming for you guys that's exciting. But comment down below how you would like me to document my next running, because before it was kind of a bit more clear where it was like 30 days, 100 days, a year. Now I'm kind of like, where do I just throw in a running video? And most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.